Hey Saints, we're back. Just like I told you I'd be. Same outfit, same. What's it called? Same cut. Same. I basically didn't move. That's what I'm trying to say. I stopped and I restarted. I got myself a glass of wine, which you can kind of see. Again, I'm looking on the TV. You know what I don't like? I can't change the orientation of the what this looks like on the TV. So I have to kind of tilt my head. But yeah, we're back. This is gonna be episode 2. And I need to edit this. I wish I would have thought about it. Well, I guess I couldn't. Maybe I'll do I need to talk about this while it's still fresh. Because the Danish deception. If you've seen it, drop a croissant. That's French. But there's no other type of Danish. Drop some form of a pastry down in the comments if you've seen it. I'm talking about on TikTok. There's this girl. Now, y'all know, I guess I should do 2 different ones. If you've seen Who the F Did I Marry, that series on TikTok, or you at least know what I'm talking about, drop a ring in the comments. Okay? That's how you do a tell-all. That's how you talk about something salacious that happened in your life that you know you had no business getting yourself into, but you've stepped back and you've grown and you could talk about it now. This stupid freaking lady who's talking about this Danish deception, the Danish Dummy, because never have I seen someone so willfully ignorant and then bold enough to tell people, people, no one could have gotten that information out of me. Okay. People overseas couldn't have beaten that out of me. The FBI couldn't have tortured that story out of me. Okay. Here's strike 1. You went to hell and back for a white man. And anybody out there who has a white man, loves a white man, dates a white man, I'm talking to black people. This is nothing against y'all. It's just not for me. And not like in a racist way. It's actually in a counter-racist way. Because it's not that I don't like you or I can't be with you or anything because you're white. I mean, it is. But it's more so, I can't get past what your people did to my people. Counter-racism, you know? Even though you didn't do it, somewhere, I know for a fact, somewhere in your family line, someone owned someone, you know? Only thing we own in my family is dogs and cats and turtles. And I have a fish. And I had some bunnies. That's it. I had a bearded dragon one time. That's it. The Smitties ain't never owned. See, Smith. I have no business having that last name. White people. My last name is probably just a sound back where my people was from. So I just can't. I can't do it. And you know something else? Black men be fine. Black men be fine. I've never seen a white man. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say I never seen a white man, and I was just like, but like Shia LaBeouf, come on, that. We have to get into that. That's totally different. Why was I going there? Yeah, I just can't do it. I could never. First of all, my family don't take nothing serious, so I could never bring a white man home to my house for a holiday. Like, this is the same feeling where one of my cousins said you had a little man walking around your mouth with dookie boots on. You know what I mean? Like, why would you say that to tell someone that their breath stunk? Like, a little man with dookie boots walking around your mouth. They're just, no, they don't take anything seriously. And they would be calling him John Smith and making weapons sound. It's just my family's not the family for interracial minglings. So, no. But also, I just don't date outside my race. Even women that I date, you got to be black. It's who I am. So, strike 1, you did all this for a white man. Be so for real. Like, And then, so okay. There's 28 parts to her story, right? She titles it The Danish Deception. Her name is Onyeka. She's Nigerian. However, she pronounced her name Onyeka or Onyeka, something like, she whitewashes her name. And when she starts doing that, Nigerian people, regular black people, some woke white people were banging her comments like, why are you saying your name like that? Because it's not how you say her name. So she goes on a trip. And also, I'm sorry, she was on The Bachelor, fighting like 20 other women for a white man. It just, you see the pattern here? You see where we're going? Come on. So she takes a trip to Croatia with her friend. No, Zoom, we're not going to update. She takes a trip to Croatia with her friend. Her and the friend run into this white guy and his white guy friend. And basically her and the white guy kind of like hit it off, she says. So they are going out or something, and she invites the guy to have drinks with them or something. By the time they show up, she's tired. Her friend is tired. They go back to the room. And they exchange Instagrams or something like that. She goes back to the States. He lives in Germany. I'm certain it's Germany. So, is it Germany? Somewhere, I'm almost certain he lives in Germany, but he lives somewhere over there. So she comes back to the States, and they're talking on Instagram and everything like that. And she messages him or something, and she's basically like, it was so nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And then she gives him her phone number. And she said that he was like, oh, I was waiting for you to do this, or finally it took you long enough, or something like that. Red flag number one. When a man wants your phone number, he's going to ask you for it. He's not going to sit here and wait around. I was barely talking to a man not too long ago who would not stop badgering me for my phone number. Having never seen this man in person, having never formally met this man, would not stop. He needed that. He needed my phone number. He wouldn't stop. And I kept saying no. Like, I'll give it to you when I'm ready. Number one, I'll give it to you when we actually meet in person. I know you're not a serial killer. Wouldn't stop. Right? He needed that. I don't think I've ever come across a man that I talked to or was interested in, or who was interested in me, who didn't ask me for my phone number. I had to give it to them and be like, hey, there's a guy who I was explicitly talking to on Instagram who like I actually liked, and we would do this weird thing where he would like ask me out on a date, but then the date never actually happened. Something always happened the night of the date. And we talked for about a year on Instagram. This nigga never asked me for my phone number. And I was like, you know what? That's starting to piss me off. Like, you don't need that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a priority to you. So now I was like, okay, this is not anything serious. Cause like, why are we talking on Instagram for 365 days? You know? And I don't know if it was a full blown year, but it was a while. We were talking for a while. Maybe it wasn't a year. Maybe a year is extreme. But we were talking for a while, and it never went off Instagram. Mind you, we're planning dates. And it's not like he lives in Guam. He lives in Philly. And it's not like, and this is someone that I knew. Like, I actually know this person. Why wouldn't you ask me for my phone number? But I'm damn sure not about to just give it to you, because if you wanted it, you would ask me for it. And I could be wrong in that. Like, I could just have given it, maybe, but that's just not my bag. Like, if you didn't ask for it, you don't want it. That's just how I think. So she gives him the phone number, says he wants it or whatever the fuck. And they start texting. They make an agreement not to FaceTime until they see each other again in person. As they're talking, texting and whatever, on the phone probably, I don't know. First of all, what is this bitch's international plan? Because she's calling and texting Germany every day, all day. She says that somewhere in there they talk about like who he is or something like that. And like he says something to her, like basically letting her know that his family is well off and they have money. She's like, okay, cool. She doesn't care about the money. Okay. And then he invites her on a trip somewhere. He's about to go on a business trip or something. And he was like, come on the trip with me. I'll pay for everything, blah, blah, blah. She says she doesn't go because she doesn't want him to think she's just interested in the money. Then he invites her to, oh God, Cane's. I think, I wish I could remember the first place they go, but they go somewhere, Italy, France, whatever, somewhere. And, God, I wish I could remember where they were, but they go, he invites her on this business trip. He says he's in German real estate. She's in, real estate in Houston or wherever she lives. So they talk about that. And he's like, I'm going to this thing. It's going to be a bunch of people there from the real estate industry. You should come. She says now here's the thing. She keeps telling this man she doesn't want him for his money. She doesn't care about the money. But then she says in this series, in this episode, when he invites her to wherever this place was, and I cannot think, Monaco, maybe? Somewhere. That when he invites her to this particular place, she basically can't turn it down. She has to go. Which leads to you're damn sure going on this trip because the monetary value of this trip is worth you actually getting up and going. But I digress. So they go to the trip or whatever. She's talking to him. They get to the airport. She says she meets up with him in the airport, runs out to him. Doors open up. She jumps on him and they just start making out in the airport. Cool. Then they get in the car to go back to the hotel. And she said that they had to physically separate themselves in the car because they couldn't stop putting their tongue down each other's throats. So they go to the hotel, they settle in, they have sex. And then he takes her to some dinner or something with his business people. And she's talking to this guy and the guy's like, are you coming with us tomorrow on the boat ride or something? And she's like, I don't know. Am I? She looks at the guy, the boyfriend or whatever. And he's like, well, you're talking to the CEO. So I guess so, whatever. Takes her the next day. They go on the boat ride, blah, blah, blah. After the boat ride, the two of them go to dinner. They go to dinner after he takes her shopping in wherever they are. They go to dinner. She says to him, hold on, let me get my wine. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Okay. Here we go. She says to him, I have to go to the bathroom, right? He says, okay. She gets up. She goes to the bathroom. She's walking down the steps. And then she wakes up. She fell. She says she fell. She doesn't just wake up having fallen. She wakes up and she has pissed herself. First of all, what the fuck? She peed herself. She wakes up. She said there's people all around her. They're freaking out. She starts freaking out. She's like, go get my boyfriend. He comes and he's like, doesn't know what's going on. I'm sorry. And she keeps coming to. She falls down the steps, wakes up, covered in piss, keeps passing out and coming back, has no idea what is going on. And she thinks nothing of it. He says to her, she asks him, what happened? This man said, do you have a history of epilepsy? She's like, no, why? He said, you've been having seizures for the last, 30 seconds to a minute. She's like, no, I don't have epilepsy. They take her to the hospital. Stop the story there. Let's just stop. If that instance right there does not scream roofied, Nothing short of him shoving a pill down her throat would have. And in the 28 parts of this series, she never comes back to that. She never says anything about that. She says she was walking down the steps wherever they were, like the steps in Italy or something, are like notoriously narrow. She fell down the steps so hard that she gave herself a concussion. I think she said she was maybe bleeding or something like that. And because she was going to the bathroom, she peed herself and then was having seizures for 30 seconds to a minute long. Goes to the hospital. They tell her she has a severe concussion and they send her on her way. The way that would have been our first and last encounter. I've been walking down the steps with these particular feet, these particular legs for 31 years. I ain't never fallen down the steps. I may trip. I may lose my footing. I have never taken a damn tumble down some stairs, like ever. So even steep stairs, narrow stairs, barefoot stairs, stairs in heels, stairs in boots, stairs in sneakers, stairs with my socks on, the slippery stairs in my grandma's house. I never fallen down the steps. I damn sure have never fallen so hard that I have pissed myself and then gotten a concussion. Like, come on. And she didn't ask him any questions. I'd have been like, that's weird. Because here's another thing. She said she didn't remember anything. Like, she couldn't remember. Even when she was telling the story, she was like, I really don't remember anything. I remember I said I had to go to the bathroom and then I woke up. And then covered in pee. The second thing about this. If I didn't want to stop talking to you because I think you drugged me, I'm definitely going to stop talking to you because I have pissed myself in front of you. We are on our first official date. Not only did I fall down the steps, I fall down the steps and I pissed myself. Like, come on. I'm trying not to laugh at the girl, but she peed herself. I don't think I could recover from that. Pee myself, bro. She peed herself. Come on. I would never talk to him again. I peed myself. We had to ride home in the car together and I smell like pee. My own. No. Done. But that doesn't stop her. She tells him on this trip she loves him. He tells her, I'm going to tell you when it means something to me. Like, I want to have my own moment just like you just had your own. She's like, perfect. Okay, perfect. They come home. You know, he goes to Germany or wherever he's from. She just comes back to Houston. They're in love. They're talking, blah, blah, blah. When can I see you again? She says she comes home and she's like depressed. Every time they have to leave each other, she's depressed. Now, I will say this. I've been in a long distance relationship. That post-trip separation thing will take a bitch out. I used to be so mean and nasty. Like the week leading up to seeing my ex-girlfriend, or like if we hadn't decided I'm going to see her or she's coming to see me, I would be so nasty. And she would text my mom and be like, do I need to come up there this weekend? And my mom would be like, yes, she's horrible. And she's like, all right, cool. And she'd be like, do I need to come up there? Can she make it another week? And my mom, or sometimes my mom would be like, no, she's actually cool. I didn't know they were having these conversations until like after the fact, but they'd be like temperature checking me. And sometimes I just couldn't do it. When she would come and then leave, I would be bawling my eyes out like she was going away to war. It was like, it's the worst having to like get in the car and drive away, having to get on a bus and leave and go the other way. When we would go on trips, she would take a flight home and I would take a flight home. So like saying goodbye in the airport and walking to two opposite directions to go to the gates. Horrible. So that part, I'll give her that, because that is the worst. That's the worst. So she says she would be so depressed after oh God, what just fell? after they talked, after they had their trips and they left because she didn't know when she was going to see him again. So in them building their relationship, this isn't funny. And them building their relationship, they're doing the whole like, we're going to get married and blah, 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 blah. He tells her, if we ever get married or when we get married, you'll meet the queen. And she says, what do you mean? He says, my family's royalty. He sends her a website. She scrolls. He says like something like, just do some quick research. She scrolls through the website. She says she finds a man on the site who has the same last name as him. She sends it back to him and says, oh, this must be your grandfather. He says, yes, it is. Like, he didn't have to do no work. He didn't have to do no work. She did everything for him. Y'all have the same last name, Thomas? Yeah. Oh, this must be your grandfather. My last name is Smith. Is Will my uncle? Like, are you dumb? Whatever. He says yes. And she's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And da-da-da-da. She's like in love with him. He tells her that okay. Let's just pause there. The way the Sherlock Holmes girl in me would have came out. What's her middle name? What's the queen's? What's her favorite type of cucumber sandwich? What I need to know. What are the dogs' names? Show me a picture. Show me if that's your grandmom or whoever she is to you. If she's any kin to you, to the point where me being with you puts me in a position to meet her. Show me a pic. That means y'all got pictures together. Show me a picture. Show me a picture right now. That's like me saying to my boyfriend, if we ever get married, one day you'll meet my favorite godmom. I only have one, but you'll meet my favorite godmom. She lives in this place and she has this house and it's got all this stuff and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like laying it on thick. I could pull out a picture and show you a picture of her and me when I was swaddled. Why? She didn't ask for any proof. She didn't ask for a picture. She didn't ask for how are y'all related? Nothing. She just, oh my God, that's so great. Let's go. Dummy. So then the relationship progresses and somehow they end up back on another trip. I can't remember where they go this time because here's the pattern in this relationship. He does something wrong. He lies. She gets angry. She finds out. They go on a trip. Or they make a plan. Something bad happens. They go on a trip. Somewhere in here, they have now made it official. And she's like, they made it official, their boyfriend and girlfriend. He's been traveling to Houston and they're planning to spend either Christmas or Thanksgiving together, like the first holiday together. He texts her or whatever, tells her like a couple days before he's supposed to get on the plane, he can't come because his dad is, oh my God, his dad is sick in the hospital with blood cancer. He has leukemia. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's just switch the ticket. I'll come out to you. And he's like, no, I don't want you to do that. It's okay. She's like, well, I want us to spend the time together. I don't want you to be alone. I'm sorry. That's his back has been hurt. She said he's been complaining about his back. We got to go back. He calls her and says he can't come, not because of the dad, but because his back is hurting him so bad. He went to the doctor. He has to have spinal surgery. And she's like, oh my God, I'm coming out there. And he's like, no, you don't have to. She's like, well, we're together. You're my partner and, doing the whole thing. Like, you shouldn't be by yourself, blah, 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 blah. He's like, no, it's fine. Thank you. I don't want you to come. She doesn't ask any questions about the surgery. Like, well, when is it? What are they doing? Why are you having the spinal surgery? What is it that you had that's causing you the surgery? Nothing. But she's getting annoyed because he's not allowing her to come up there. So then they just won't see each other. Then they like reschedule the trip or something like that. That's when she finds out about the dad. And so they're like, okay, like do the thing with your dad and then we'll meet up later on. Okay, cool. And then they plan for him to come to Houston or whatever. He tells her he's about to close on a deal for an apartment complex that he wants to purchase and rent out, and it'll be his building. So like he buys this apartment building. It has a bunch of units in it. He's the landlord and the property manager or whatever, and he's buying this building, renovating whatever, and renting out these apartments. But there's only one problem. He doesn't have the money to finish, like closing the deal. She says, how much money are you short? How much are you short? $5,000. She says, I'll give it to you. First of all, if I whispered $5,000 into my bank account right now, it would whistle back at me, bitch, please. That's the first thing. She just had, I was stunned and I was impressed by the fact that she had the $5,000 sitting there to give him. I'll give it to you. That's fine. Negro, please. No, literally no. Literally no. I'm not going to, no. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to, no. Also, you have royalty in your family. Ask one of them old ass people for the $5,000. You're telling me no one has it? And I think he said he had asked his dad and his dad said no and blah, 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 blah. Then he finds out he owes the IRS money. The German IRS, whoever they are. Excuse me. He owes them money. And she's like, how much do you owe? And he says something like, I don't know, like $15,000. She's like, damn, that's a lot. He's like, yeah, I was going to get it from my parents. My parents also owe money. Again, reminding, we're really well off. She's like, how much do they owe? 12 million. She says, well, this is what she's saying to us as she's telling the story. Well, now I'm thinking if they owe 12 million in taxes, they must really have money. I guess. Like, what? So they go back and forth through this whole thing. He's supposed to come down for Christmas or something. He can't because he doesn't have the money. She says, I'll pay for it. He says no. And no, here's the thing about the 5,000. She kept saying, I'll give it to you. He said, no, I'm not taking money from you. She says, I'll give it to you. I know you're good for it. No, I'm not taking any money for you. They keep doing this back and forth. Finally, he comes to her and he says, just promise me you'll let me pay you back. Yeah. Like, why? Sure. So she's like, yeah, absolutely. Cool. That opens up the floodgates of him like getting money from her. So then at some point, she's supposed to come to Germany, wherever they live. She's supposed to come to Germany, and they can't do it now because, again, his dad is sick and he doesn't have any money. She's like, I'll come out there. And he was supposed to come see her. She says, I'll come out there. I don't want you to be alone. Your dad is sick. They had said like he stopped breathing and blah, 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 blah. He's like, no, don't come out here. She's like getting frustrated. Why? I don't want you to spend your holiday here and da-da-da-da. Let's just go on a trip instead. You don't have money, but you want to go on a trip. Okay. She says, okay, where do you want to go? He doesn't say Virginia Beach. He says, what about Paris? She's like, perfect, let's do it. And who pays for the Paris trip? She does. They go to Paris. They spend time there. And she's like, now, while we were in Paris, like, he did buy stuff. Cool. Okay. So they do Paris. They come back. Now, at this point, they're like deep into their dating and they're going back and forth. And he still hasn't gotten all the money that he owes to the IRS. And he needs like $6,000, I think, or something like that. And so she gives it to him. Cool. Couple months later, he gets in trouble for something. He gets in trouble for something and his business accounts are like frozen. And the business accounts are frozen. She gets upset and she's like, because again, now he can't come see her. Oh, you know what it was? Her grandmom dies. They're going back to Nigeria to bury her grandmother. He says, I'm going to come with you. She's like, it's not cheap. Like, it's okay. You don't have to. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'm going to do it. But he doesn't want to fly coach or business class because the flight is long. So he wants to get first class tickets. She's like, no, it's too much. I want to say they end up getting them, but I really can't remember. And they go, he goes with her to Nigeria, meets all her family. They like fall in love with him. They come back to the States. Excuse me. They come back to the States and something else pops off because he ends up needing money again. And so he needs money from her again. She gives it to him. But now, again, the time has progressed. So not only are they dating, he's like, they're talking about getting married. He's now asked her to marry him or whatever. She says yes. They're planning a life together. He's really mostly like staying in Houston, going back to Germany when he's not here, but he's spending like weeks in Houston or whatever. So they're talking about getting married, and something happened with money. I can't remember what it is, but he needs money. Oh, because his business accounts are frozen. So he needed money for a business deal that he was doing on another piece of property in Germany. She's like, are you sure? Like, this seems like a lot of money. Da-da-da-da. Oh, here's what it was. He like bought a house and he had a house in Germany that he was selling. And these really rich people wanted to buy the house. And they were doing like an all cash offer or some bullshit. And the only problem is that in Germany, in order for people of this stature to make a deal, they can put something in there so that they like put money in escrow or something. And so he has to put money up and they have to put money up so that if anybody falls out of the deal, the other person is compensated or something. She's like, how much is it? And he says like 15 grand. She's like, I'll give it to you. Bitch, what? So mind you, things are like happening in between. Now at some point, someone in his circle or her friend, I can't remember what comes first, but at some point she finds out he has a gambling problem. She's like, I don't know nothing about this. Her friend comes to her and says, hey, do you know, because now let's fast forward, they've gotten married and they are now in the process of planning a wedding, like an actual wedding. They went and did like the justice of the peace bullshit. Not bullshit. This is like a real like anyone, but it's bullshit because it's those two fools. So her friend comes to her and is like, hey, do you know that your husband owes my husband money? How? No. What are you talking about? He owes him, I think, like $20,000. How? They give him the backstory. He said it was in crypto. We were doing a crypto deal together and blah, 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 blah. Basically, he took money from this man and gambled it away. The money that he's been taking from her, gambled it away. They do this whole back and forth for like a year, probably more than that. Because do you know something she doesn't do? She doesn't say how long this process lasts with him. So I'm kind of like expediting the story, but basically what happens is he will lie, he'll get money, he'll gamble it away. She gets upset. They go on an extravagant trip on her dime. And she just keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it. It is not until she finds out, he has a gambling problem. They're planning now a American and Nigerian wedding. Her family tells them, y'all pay for the American wedding, or what they call the white wedding, not white people, but white dress wedding. And we will pay for the Nigerian wedding in Nigeria and everything else. She's like, okay. He goes to her parents behind her back and says, we'll cover both weddings. You don't got no money. How in the shit are you paying for anything? So she gets pissed and she's like, why would you tell him that? He's like, the money from selling the house is going to come through, because it's all this financial stuff in the midst of it. But it really doesn't matter because she doesn't leave him and she ends up keeps giving him money. So it really doesn't matter for y'all to even hear it because it doesn't change anything. But it goes from like frozen assets to not frozen assets. He's selling the house, not selling the house. He's getting money from some place, but the money never actually comes through. So in the midst of them planning for the Nigerian wedding, he's supposed to send, so his bank accounts get frozen after the IRS thing. It takes 18 months. So they had to have been doing this for longer than a year, because it took 18 months for them to unfreeze his business account. And it wasn't frozen when they started dating. But from the time that it's frozen to the time that they unfreeze it, 18 months have passed. And she's still with him. So she was with him for at least 2 years. So she, hold on. So she goes to him and she's like, are you going to send my mom, I think it's like $10,000 for the wedding so she can start doing stuff? He says yes. There's an app where you can send money internationally. I think someone in my building is making chitlins. Oh my God. What in the let my people go is going on? It smells, oh my God. It's either pig feet or chitlin. They both smell like shit, so I don't know. Ew, it's literally not even Thanksgiving anymore. Thanksgiving was yesterday. My house smells like shit. Smells like pig shit in here. Oh my God. I'm going to have to burn okay. We'll just work through it. Yeah, I know that shitty smell. I know that smell. That's chitlins, I think. I think that's chitlins. Please, if y'all don't fucking stop eating the chitlins, we are fucking free. I've had enough. Anyway, so I don't even remember what I was saying. The wedding. There's an app where you send stuff to people and internationally send them money. And she was like, did you send my mom the money? Because at this point, she knows that he gambles. So she's like, did you send my mom the money? He says yes. She's like, okay, I need to see it, because she doesn't believe him. So he shows it to her. He shows her a screenshot. Basically, the money was scheduled. Like 2 weeks go by, mom doesn't have the money. She goes back to him and she's like, where's the money? Did you schedule it? He says yes. She's like, okay. She goes through his phone one day and sees that he's been using a gambling site. She's pissed, but she can't say anything to him because at this point in time, his mother is visiting in their house because he now has a green card and shit and on a visa and all that. So he's now living in Houston with her. The mom is visiting from Germany or wherever the shit they're from. And she can't say anything or pop off because they have made a deal that she will not bring up his gambling problem or the fact that he's been getting money from her or anything to anyone else because he doesn't want people to look at him differently. Red flag number 42. So that chitlin shit smell is really going to piss me off. So then she says, I looked on your phone. She texts him or something like that while they're in the house. I looked at your phone. I saw the gambling site. Let me see your money or whatever. Because they're opening up a bank account for him in America so that he can, he can make her an authorized user so she can keep track of his money. And so he lies and tells her something goes wrong with Chase Bank. Is Chase Bank still a thing? I ain't seen a Chase Bank in forever. Am I not rich enough? Is Chase Bank for rich people? That makes sense. But yeah, so they are going through this back and forth of him saying, something happened with the bank setup and he can't make her an authorized user. So she like goes through his phone while he's asleep or at the gym or something like that. She goes through his phone and sees the gambling site, and she sees that he doesn't have money in his bank account. He has like 37 cents. Which means if you don't have money in this account, you damn sure didn't send my mom 10 stacks because you don't even have $1. So in the middle, at some point, I want to say she did in the middle of the night, but whatever. She goes to the app where he was supposed to send the mom money, and she puts in like to see what the screens look like and what the process is. So she goes to try to send herself like $500, and the screen comes up that her husband shows her saying that he sent the mom money, but at the bottom it says like submit or cancel or something like that. And what he did was he pulled up, like he scheduled it, took a screenshot and cut out the part that says like cancel or submit, and then he canceled it. But he showed her like that it was just the part that says he had scheduled it. So she curses him out for that, but then she fucking stays with him. And then her friend comes to visit. She goes through his phone again. She finds out he's gambling again. And now she's pissed off. She curses him out, blah, 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 blah. It is at this point in time that he has had enough. So he leaves her. Let me repeat it. He has had enough. So he leaves. Takes the ring off. He does the whole thing. I'm going to be out of your life. I've caused you nothing but problems. I've had enough of this. All you do is accuse me of shit. I'm doing my best and da-da-da-da. Don't you know she pulls a Sanaa Lathan in the family that prays and breaks down and was like, we're family. Don't leave me. We're supposed to stay together. You love people through the hard stuff. And she begs him to stay. And he's like, no, I'm leaving. Like, you don't appreciate me. I'm leaving. She's like, I love you. You're not leaving me. He's like, listen, I'm leaving. I'm getting a hotel. Please don't be home. I'm trying to come home at like 1 and pack my stuff so I can just be done with this. She's like, okay, I'm leaving around 12:30. You should have the house to yourself. She lies to him on purpose because her thought is that she's going to intercept him. But here's the thing she don't know. You can't scam a scammer. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. He lied. Yeah, he lied. He did not come back at 1. If she left at 12:30, that motherfucker came at 12:31 and 49 seconds. Because when she got back early, thinking she was getting there to intercept his 1 o'clock time, she says she got back and all his shit was gone. And she says she screams at the top of her lungs and she's heartbroken that he's left her. And she's calling him and texting him. He's not answering and da-da-da-da. But she pocketed his passport and his green card as a way to force him to stay in the States. So she texts him, she calls him. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm getting on I got my plane ticket and da-da-da-da. And she's like, well, I have your passport. So he goes off. He's like, don't worry about it. I can get a temporary one. I have a ticket, my blah, blah, blah. He said, all this did was prolong me leaving and make me spend more money. So thanks a lot. And she is like beside herself. She cannot believe that he left. So then something happens where she finally decides, I'm going to tell my friends and my family about this. And she tells her, so wait, something happens. He leaves or whatever. And she's like, something doesn't feel right or whatever. Like, I need to reach out to people. So she reaches out to his sister, who he keeps the whole time saying is like a bitch or whatever. Reaches out to the sister, the older sister. And the older sister's like, yeah, we don't get along because he's a liar. Like, she's like, she's asking all these questions because another lie he told was that he's been to the Olympics and he has a gold medal. Mind you, she never saw the gold medal. She just took his word for it. So she asks, has been to the Olympics? Absolutely not. Is your family royalty? Do you know anybody, in the family? Absolutely not. They're like, the family's mortified by the stuff that's coming out of her mouth. Are you well off? Did you owe $12 million in taxes? We've never heard that before. What are you talking about? So then she's like, why didn't anyone tell me that he had a gambling problem? He told us that you knew. He said y'all had already talked about it. So we were under the impression that you were just working through this with him. Ah, bitch. Come on. Now, you fell for the okey doke. Like, come on. So she gets pissed about that. And then there's one time when they're like out on a vacation or something like that, and she has all these Danish people like viewing her story. And there's one girl he had a dog. There's one girl who's like viewing his story. She says she goes to the girl's page and she sees a picture of the girl and his dog. She's like, that's weird that she would have his dog because that's his ex. Like, I'm confused. Reaches out to the girl and is like, hey, we just broke up. If you want to talk, like, I just need some answers. Girlfriend calls her and was like, yeah, we broke up not too long ago. That dog is not his. The dog is mine. I had the dog when we started dating and blah, 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 blah. She's like, well, what do you mean by you broke up not too long ago? She's like, yeah, we broke up in, let's say, October. She goes back. She's like doing the math and shit in her head. They broke up 4 months after her and the husband like officially got together. So he was dating the two of them at the same time for at least 4 months straight. The time when he told her he couldn't come see her and they were living together. I'm sorry. They were living together. He couldn't come see her because of the back surgery. They were breaking up. He was moving from their house into another house. So the reason why he wouldn't let her come to Germany is because he was moving out of his girlfriend's house. So she's like pissed and blah, blah, blah. She's like, how much money did he take from you? The girl says however much it was. So she's pissed. So she decides, I'm going to tell my family. She has her friends and her sisters come over to the house, explains what's going on. Why does her sister say, well, he took money from me too? Bitch. She's like screaming at the top of her lungs. How much did he take from you? A couple $1,000s. Why didn't you say anything? He told me not to. First of all. The day my sister's boyfriend comes to me and one asks me for more than $5 so he can go to get himself something, a bag of chips and soda, and bring me back a pack of Skittles from the corner store, I'm telling her right then and there. And then you're telling me not to tell my sister. I'm super duperty telling her because you told me not to. So something weird's going on here. Had you not said don't tell her, I probably wouldn't have, but I would have told her. But the fact that you came out your face and intentionally said, don't tell her. I'm for shit sure telling her. Are you nuts? Sister never says a word. Did you get the money back? She says, yes, he gave me the money back. Cool. One of the friends goes, well, he took money from me too. What did he take money from you for? He said he was getting, what did he take it from the sister for? Said he was getting the sister a gift. The one he was dating, he was getting his wife a gift and needed help just putting a deposit down or something like that. He was going to give her the money back. He gave her the money back, but it was not for a gift. He was just gambling. Asked the friend, what did you give him money for? He said he was getting you like a Rolex or a watch or something like that. And the seller that he was getting it from only had one. He wanted it as a surprise. And so I helped him put the money down. Did you get your money back? Yes. Another one goes, he took money from me too. Stop. Why don't any of you bitches have the ability to say no? Y'all are giving him thousands of dollars because he asked, because he was going to get you a gift. If my best friend's boyfriend came to me and was like, I want to get him something really nice, can you give me $1,000 so that I would go to my best friend and be like, he wants to get you a gift, but he asked me for $1,000. And he would be pissed. First of all, my best friend don't like stuff like that. He don't even ask me for money. So his boyfriend come and ask me for money would be super crazy. But like, that's something about that's weird. Because why would you come to me instead of going to someone in your circle? Why didn't you go to your best friend and say, I want to get her this watch, but I need to put a deposit down. Can you spot me and I'm going to give you the money back? Why would you cross the line and ask her people for money? That's crazy. So then she calls her brother-in-law. The brother-in-law gave him money too. She calls her cousin, who's like her brother, gave him money too. She calls her parents. Yeah, the parents gave her money too. He cleaned up. And everyone in this, what part? I don't understand. It just, as she's telling the story, it just seems like everyone had some sort of an urge to like satisfy this white man. And that's what everybody's like coming out and saying. It's her willingness to please this white man when the facts were so clearly put in her face. I don't care what anyone says, he drugged that girl in wherever they were at. Falling down the steps is one thing, but also they had been there for days. She didn't fall down no other narrow steps. She didn't fall down the narrow steps on the boat, on the yacht, as y'all were sailing in the water. But in this very still building, she felt it let's come on, bro. Come on. He scammed the whole family. Grow up. Don't piss me off. So then she calls this guy who's a mentor to him. Someone had reached out to him on LinkedIn and was like, oh my God, there's not that many Germans here. Whatever he is. There's not that many of us here. We should link up. So that guy and his wife invite them over. They have dinner. She never sees or hears from these people ever again. So she reaches out to him. She's like, calls the guy. He's like, oh, well, look who it is. Like, he clearly has a problem. She's like, I'm sorry. Did I do something to you? Like, she's like, I just found out that he was doing this and doing that. Like, I just wanted to know, like, why you guys stopped talking. And he's like, he owes me thousands of dollars. She's like, why? Like, what did you give him money for? And again, it was some sort of a business deal that they were supposed to do. And he just ran off with the money. And so she's like, why didn't you say anything to me? Like, we were all cool. Why didn't you say something? And he was like, Onyeka, you're Nigerian. Like, Nigeria is the scam capital of the world. Why would I come to you? He was like, I thought you were in on it. I thought that y'all tag teamed me. And then she has this whole like meltdown, like, oh my God, I'm Nigerian, and people probably thought I was a part of it, and like he got over on me. And she was like, we have our things about us, like Nigeria has this thing, but we do have, people who do take advantage, and everyone probably thought that this was me, and how did he get over on us? And I'm like, because you're stupid. Like, I've done some stupid shit in a relationship. That's not one of them. And part of it is because I'm too poor. Here's the thing. A scammer couldn't get over on me because I ain't got shit for you. I don't have anything you want. I have no money. And the money I do have, it's not going to tickle your fancy. It will not wet your whistle, brother. My little $20, you can't get shit with this but some Cold Stone. That's it. So one, a scammer can never get over on me, baby. Two, this is why I'm not nice to people, because that's the type of shit you go to jail for. And by you, I mean me. I would be in jail as somebody's bottom bitch after having killed that man. Because it's one thing to do it to me. My sister, come on. Wouldn't have got over on my sister either, because my sister is a grade A bitch, and she would have come to me immediately. Your punk ass boyfriend asked me for thousands of dollars. I mean, she snitches on me to my boyfriend right now. And that's merely just me drinking a Mountain Dew. So you know what I mean? It's just, oh my God. Beef up your wisdom. Just be smart. Beef up your wisdom. Beef up your inner security system. She should have looked this nigga up immediately. And somebody else had made a point of like, if she thinks he didn't look her up, she's a fool, because she has an internet presence. She was on The fucking Bachelor. Her best friend is Natalie, who was on Love is Blind. Like Love is Blind, I think, Are You the One? Or Love is Blind and something else. Like another dating show on Netflix. They're best friends. Oh my God, excuse me. It's the wine, y'all. Yeah, it just... I don't feel bad for her. And she was like, she's getting upset because she's like, I'm getting all this hate mostly from black women. That's crazy. We're supposed to uplift each other and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're not really like one of us though, because when he said he was royalty, and we would have looked him up, that's number one, which you should have done and you didn't do it. But when we looked him up and saw that he actually, in fact, was not, that would have been enough for us. That would have been it. It would have been no reason to even ask him about it. I would have blocked him. When I woke up and have pissed myself, I would have blocked him. There's so many opportunities for her to stand up for herself, and she doesn't do it. And it pisses me off even more because since she doesn't do it, she makes her family a target. Like, my parents used to be like, people will only do what you allow them to do. So when my cousins used to come over, they would fuck my room up. We used to have a toy bin, or like a toy chest, whatever we called it, the toy bin. And it was this enormous plastic bin, probably about the size of this chase. It was enormous. Or maybe it wasn't that long, but it was enormous. And it was really deep, and it was plastic. It had a lid that you would lift up, and it was full of toys. And my cousins would come over and they would just empty it. And then when my aunt would come, or when my mom and my aunt was done having their little sister night, they would leave and leave the toys all over the floor. And my parents used to be like, yeah, clean that shit up. Next time they come over, make them clean before they leave. Like, now y'all have to do it. So then we learned, like, y'all are going to take one toy out at a time, put that shit back, because every time y'all leave, we end up having to clean up. And it's ass. People will only do what you allow them to do. So because you let him walk all over you, you let him infiltrate your life, he was able to take advantage of your family. Now, I don't understand why her family was equally as stupid. And like, I know it sounds harsh, but like, you know what I mean? I don't understand that. Like, if my boyfriend called my dad right now and asked him for money, like, my dad would let, you know what? I don't understand that. That's what I don't understand. So that's where the issue comes in of like, y'all needed this white man to be in y'all family real bad. Cause y'all were constantly giving him money, looking the other way, doing stuff that you knew wasn't right, listening to things he was saying that you knew sounded like bullshit, and y'all just kept going. I don't get it. And the more she talks, the more I want to knock her teeth out, because it's just, it's the worst. People talk about her voice and the way she talks. So like, I code switch, but I used to code switch. I really don't do it anymore. So like, I have like my, my voice that I will do. I was about to do it just now. Like, I can't even, like it's hard for me to even do it right now. My tongue won't even do it because I have not code switching. So I just stopped doing it because it's exhausting having to be some white people don't code switch for me. They keep calling me fucking sassy and shit and saying my hair looks so sassy. They don't code switch for me. So I stopped code switching for them. But like, there's code switching, and then there's completely altering who you are. She completely alters who she is, because being articulate and speaking like you have an education and being able to explain yourself and get a point across is one thing. Like, I'm speaking articulately right now. You can understand what I'm saying. I'm clear. My words are concise. You know what I mean? Like, I have a point. I may use some filler words, but for the most part, I can handle myself in a conversation. My tone has switched up a little bit as I'm talking right now. That's one thing, right? I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Her whole voice doesn't even sound like, it just all sounds like it's performative. Her whole being seems performative to this role that she's trying to get as the white man's wife. Like, and I don't get that. I don't get it. And people were like looking up her friends, her best friend, who she talks about a lot in the series. No, did I just get dirt on that? Who she talks about in the series, is Nigerian, also married to a white man. But I don't know. It's something about her. Like, they were talking about this little chin thing she does that they said was like a fake underbite, but it's like she does this weird ass thing with her chin where she like makes her face look chiseled. It looks ugly. Not she's ugly, but what the face that she's making looks ugly. And that's like what someone else said too. Like that face is ugly, but she does it like this superior thing because she like moves her head back and forth and she puts her head up in the air, and it's like she thinks she's better than everybody because she has this white man and he stole all her fucking money. It's just sad. I think usually people I feel bad for, like old people, like on that Netflix there's a show called like ex lovers con or something like that. It's basically just a show about women. The lady who the Tinder swindler is about on Netflix gets a show on Netflix where she basically helps women not become her. And so when they get conned out of money, she helps to chase down the person who conned them out of their money. And it's like older women who they just like don't know any better and they want to like be loved and be nice and all that kind of stuff. So like them I feel bad for. I don't necessarily feel bad for her. I think she just I think someone said that, and I had thought something similar to this, but I couldn't get the words. I couldn't put together the thought of what it actually was. Someone said that they think that she willingly went along with this because she thought that what happened in the end was going to be worth it. And I think that's what it is. I think she thought, I know he's gambling. I know he's lying to me. I know I'm giving him all this damn money and he has not given me my money back. But at the end of the day, he's going to sell his house. He's going to move to Houston. We're going to get married. We're going to have these beautiful mixed babies. I'm going to have this white man on my arm. Like, we're going to live happily ever after, and all this will have been worth it. He's going to make all this money off this house and off this apartment complex and everything, and we're going to be set financially. This is going to be great. She thought that the effort was worth the reward, and it was all dog shit. Because that's another thing. Her sister said he didn't own not one property. None of the shit was true. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Stand up. I don't know. I don't get it. And I am queen. Don't victim blame, but you're not a victim, baby. You know what I mean? You did this yourself. You did this to yourself. And I can't wait. She was like comparing herself to Risa Tisa, who did the series, Who the F Did I Marry? And people were like, the difference is that in her stories, and I did watch her, like her series, she would be like, before y'all even say anything, I know that this ain't make no sense. I know this is stupid. I knew it was stupid then. And she even at one point, not multiple times, she says, I knew he was lying to me and I still stayed because he was helping me pay the bills in the house. Or like at one point she's pregnant by him and she's like, we're having a baby. We're getting married. She says like, I knew he was lying. I knew this shit didn't make no sense. I knew I needed to walk away. I just wasn't ready. That we could take. The accountability. We could take that. Because I've been there. It's plenty of times that I was like, yeah, you're lying. Or like, I knew like this no longer serves me. I don't need to be here. I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. You don't need to be here. I'm not necessarily ready to walk away. You know what I mean? Like there's still something here. I'm kind of enjoying this something very small in this. I'm not ready to leave yet. And then when it would fall apart, I'd be like, I mean, I knew months ago this shit was wrapped. So I think that's the difference. She never once in this thing says, I knew this didn't sound right. I knew he was not royalty. And I still let him think that I did. No. She's like defending herself of like, I looked it up. They had the same last name. It made sense to me. I never knew he was gambling because nobody ever told me. And when she does find out, she's like, well, I looked up Gamblers Anonymous and I looked up support groups, and it said that, people relapse and it will take a while for us to get back on our feet. Like, she was still defending everything she had done. Girl, I don't know. It's insanity to me. It really is. I don't understand. Yeah. I pray that's never me. I don't want to let that kind of love never find me. I don't want to deal with that ever. Ever. It's just crazy. So this whole week, I want to say she dropped the series last week. Cause I watched it, I think on Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday. And then I tried to hold it in and I just couldn't. So I went to my Instagram story and I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to the Saints about this, because she just is like, dumb. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't wait. I love when people get on TikTok and tell their business like that. Any multiple parter, I'm watching it. It's good every time. This wasn't that good. And honestly, it's 28 parts. You don't have to watch all 28. You do not need to. But I'm the kind of person, if there is a car crash on my way down the street, I will be looking at it. It could be tarps, blood, and gore, and I'm going to look at it. The Netflix movie that they put out, what was that movie about the perfect neighbor, about the woman who had killed that white lady who had killed the black? Yeah. Someone on TikTok was like, black people and black women specifically, do not watch this. It is black trauma porn. I said, black trauma porn. Let me get the remote. I immediately went to it. If you want me to watch some shit, tell me don't watch it. And then give it a descriptor like black trauma porn. I'm going to watch it immediately. I have to see it because I don't listen. I must be taught. I must be shown, and I need to learn on my own and fall on my face on my own. So if you tell me, don't watch that, don't listen to that, don't go look at that, I'm going to look. I'm going to watch. I'm going to listen. And even if it terrorizes me, yeah, I'm going to do that. Because maybe you're wrong. Something in there might be good. And people were like, I watched this so you didn't have to. People literally were like, it is 28 parts of the same story, just a different vacation. It is. For them two to be broke as shit, they are some of the most traveling ass broke people I've ever come across. They go on like 4 or 5 trips internationally. They don't go to like Atlantic City. When he says he doesn't have any money and he owes the IRS money, let's just go on a trip instead of me coming to Houston. He says, let's go to Paris. Nigga, what? And maybe it's only $5 when you live in Germany. I don't know. But she wasn't flying from there. She was flying from Houston. Her going to Germany. Who has money for that? Him coming from Germany to Houston. Who are y'all using your Frontier miles? I mean, I'll be. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But it will never be me. That love will never find me because I'm not beautiful. I might be foolish. I'm not beautiful. So I had to get that out. I had to talk to y'all about that. Tell me what y'all think if you watched it. If you think if I'm being harsh, which I really don't think I am. So actually, I was going to say if I'm being harsh, let me know. But it probably won't do anything because she's dumb to me. But I don't know. Like, maybe you can make me see it from glass half full or whatever it is for her, half empty. I don't know. That her glass is fucked. I know that much. God damn. He came, he fucked shit up, he left. That's ass. Anyway, yeah, let me know. Let me know what y'all think. It's all over the place. People are talking about it on TikTok, but it's just now making its way to Instagram. So I've been seeing it. So, stuff lives and dies on TikTok. And then a week or 2 weeks later, it makes its way to Instagram where it gets revived. And then it lives for another 2 weeks. So we got time. We got time for y'all to hear about it on Instagram and say, and it will have died. Somebody else will have gotten scammed on TikTok and we'll talk about that. So yeah, it just was. She's a fool. And she's pretty. She's so pretty. She's not like stunning, but she is so pretty. So I was gonna say, like, is it a self-esteem thing? But there's pretty girls out there all the time who are like, I look and feel like a foot. So I don't know. It's sad, to say the least. But I am tired of talking about this lady, and I'm getting tired, I think. So I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to record some promo. And then I'm going to finish my wine, and I'm going to finish binge watching Grey's Anatomy, which, if you watch Grey's Anatomy, let me know, because we can also start talking about that, because I'm on season 2, and that girl just put her hand inside that man's body cavity when he shot himself. Ugh. I don't want to spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it, but my God, it is good. Shonda Rhimes. Yeah. So we're going to get out of here. I actually don't know. I thought about this when I ended the last episode. I don't know what I want my schedule to be like. Maybe I'll stick to Fridays, like dropping episodes on Fridays. But it kind of depends. I don't know. I have to see. I liked Fridays because it's easy. Just put your headphones in, turn something on, and like have your little morning thing. But we'll see. So I don't necessarily know a date for now. I guess we can stick to Friday. If I change the drop day, then I'll let y'all know. Yeah, but I guess for now we can stick to Friday. So my goal, wrap, edit, and right now we have 2 weeks locked already. Today is Friday, child. So y'all not getting this. But maybe, we'll drop episode 1 next Friday, and then this will come out the Friday after that. But that might be too. I mean, we could bring it back up, whatever. TikTok don't die. I was gonna say it might be too late. That's why I didn't want to do a whole episode on this. But she's just so damn dumb that you just have to get into it. You know, it gets to a point. But we'll see. So thank you so much. This is Girl, We Need to Talk, season 2, episode 2. We're back. I just had a brain fart. I'm Smosh. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening in the headphones, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Share with a friend. Subscribe. If you unfollowed me and unsubscribe because you were mad because I left, I'm back. So please resubscribe and refollow me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get it together. I pinky promise. I will see y'all next week. I love you so much. Thank you for watching.